Welcome to the Fat Cats Rugby Podcast, bringing you candid rugby conversations, great interviews and insights into Ugandan rugby, and a touch of rugby in Africa and the world over. Fat Cats Rugby Podcast is a product of Fat Cats Media brand for all your audio-visual content needs and equipment hire. Hope you enjoy this episode. 2024's first podcast after, of course, a bit of moving around with the Uganda Cup. But glad to be back at our very serene home, the Fred and Winnie B&B. My name is Ruben Kihumuro, and Happy New Year to everyone. Welcome to the Fat Cats podcast, first edition of 2024. Just here in the compound, a few changes, still looking as beautiful as ever. Here with Bruno. Good, sir. How was the new year started for you?
Not bad on a personal side. Rugby-wise, not so good as well. My team lost in the...
Is it true that Pirates guys over-enjoyed the festive season and they forgot that they had a quarter final?
No, that's not true.
Yeah.
It was just a sport of rugby where a winner has to be one. But yeah, we will wait for the league, which is starting in a few as well. But the sport has been nice as well. From the surprises in the semis, Rams making it to their first ever final in the Uganda Cup, and then that fine display by the Nile Rapids to lift the Uganda Cup women's side. Good start of the year on the sport side. Looking forward to the league as well, which is in some way will be played different from the previous seasons. Super 12, it will be beautiful to see.
Yeah, interesting to see, of course, Uganda Rugby Union VP Technical coming with a lot of changes. We saw the Uganda Cup has transitioned from the knockouts entirely to a group and knockouts. Now we are seeing that even the league is changing to one round of round robin and then the playoffs. So interesting to see, among other changes that are also coming up. But we have a guest with us today. And I want to give a bit of an introduction, and if we have missed anything, he'll let me know. But he is a mechanical engineer. He is a rugby player, commonly known by the phrase Safeboda. I don't know if he has started getting any endorsement or royalties from the Safeboda company.
I don't even know him.
He is a car lover or a car enthusiast. He usually gives some advice here and there on social media about what car to buy, what to consider when you're taking care of your car. Well, he says that put enough fuel. Don't say that I know my car. Put enough fuel, please. And then also, a recent skill he has attained is a meme artist, commonly known with the hair bonnets that Mr. Frank Chidega has been a very big victim of. But ladies and gentlemen watching, we have Mr. Arnold Atukunda on the podcast. Arnold, welcome.
Thank you, Ruben.
Yeah, I was reliably informed that the last time you came here, it literally rained cats and dogs. We're actually surprised there's no rain today.
Yeah, we actually came. Ruben, actually, no. Well, we gave us some food, I think, that day. I counted it as supper.
No, we just ate, man.
Yeah, we ate.
The just came for food.
The rain disturbed us. We just sat and ate.
That was my first time here, but
tea, G-nuts. It was a nice evening.
Basically everything but shooting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is there anything in the intro that I've put out that I have particularly missed?
That's basically all of it. But I'm a mechanical engineer, but who specifies in automotives. Yeah. So I would rather identify. I would rather identify as an automotive engineer. People like calling me a mechanic, but I hate that name. I use it because Uganda, it's we are still down there. So identifying as a mechanic will get you work. If you identify as an automotive engineer, people will fear you. But I believe I've worked hard enough to have that title. So yeah, automotive engineer.
Hey, you worked hard really, because I remember your first post when you graduated was You guys, I'm done. Mechanical engineering is hard.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard course. The people doing it,
The university
I'm sure they
itself.
can tell you. It's actually a hard course. Yeah.
I don't know how you manage to juggle it with university life itself is hard. You are staying in Chikoni. Of course, you're one of those generations that have joined Pirates when it's playing at Kings Park. But then, how did you manage the hard course with hard life, university life, and making it to where you get it from Chikoni?
Had university life 1 meal a day.
Hey,
One
one
meal in
thing
2
I
days.
know, one thing I know that was a sort of an advantage to you is you guys were men.
Okay, I think growing up, as a sportsman, I began sports at an early age in my S1. We were told that doing sports, you have to work. Being a sportsman, you have to work thrice as hard as a normal student. When you're in class, you've been to the pitch, you've been training. When you come back to class, you cannot. If you're normal, you cannot perform. Of course, the same way as a normal student has been performing. As a person who has been in class the whole day for you, you've gone to the pitch, you've done training, you have to rest, you've gone to the gym. So I took it up even in my high school. I was actually on scholarship, I think in my A level, but I managed to score some very good marks because of that principle.
Yeah.
So of course, moving to campus, things were very hard. You have to manage yourself outside home, outside school. So many things in there, but you have to be principled, you have to be disciplined, and rugby, the nature of rugby, you're naturally a hard worker.
Yeah.
So for me, it wasn't so hard. I would go play my rugby, come back to hostel, read my books, rest, repeat.
And then there's that training that you used to do. I know many stories about Arnold. There's that training that he used to do in the evening of running all those hills of Makere. Starting in Chikoni running, then you move down to Livingstone. Then run all the way to the main
There are people
gate.
in this world that just love running. This guy is one of them. He reminds me of Gebo. Gabriel Aredo. Man, guys just like running. Like on a random day, like, man, what are you going to do to just distress? And I'm going to just take a run. I'm like, and how long? Like 10 kilometers. Like, bro, that's I have it. When we talk about relaxation or taking a chill, we have two totally different ideas.
Yeah, for me, running was always it's. I take it as a skill. Most people look at running as a by the way, but rugby is a running sport. It's a contact and running sport. People who run have an advantage. People normally say, Arnold runs far. He's actually an athlete. He's not a rugby player. But for me, I feel like running has been like a brand. I work so hard to stay in form. To have everything together, have all my speed together, so that when I now, enter the pitch, it's a different thing. So I run a lot because of that.
What about those runs in Bara?
By the way, people.
There are times when Arnold would be in Bara for holidays, and because Kore and Magomu were at LDC in Bara, now he would force them to run. And they would run the whole of Bara.
Actually, I think half of my high school I was an athlete. I was actually I was a zonal champion, district champion, and regional champion for 3 years in Barara. So I went for national games, ball games too. When the rest were playing sevens, I was running. Though I did play sevens, I remember in 2017, the first edition of sevens, we played and we were number 2. That stole the game in the last minutes. and they took the trophy, but I played that and then went and played. I would play ball games 1, rugby 15s, and then go for running in ball games 2. So running has been part of me. For me, it's like leisure. If I don't run, I will even feel sick.
Unfortunately, Bruno can't relate. But anyway,
he'll never.
Go ahead.
You do run.
I run.
I see your snaps. You'll be walking.
I run.
But okay, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. However, before we get into all the rugby and all that, I want to understand, of course, we have talked about a few of the things that you have a passion for. But what other passions and skills do you have that maybe many people don't know?
I don't have so many skills.
Even passions, not necessarily skills alone.
I remember growing up, I was doing acrobatics. I was a very good cook, even till today. I was actually cooking at campus. Yeah,
You
and
cook
some
for the Gongodios.
Gongodi was suffering in what is it, Micho?
Yeah.
Eating Rolexes. But for me, I was cooking in Chikoni. I had a roommate who, who was also a good cook, so cooking was a bit easy. Yeah, but now which other skills? Not so many. I remember, I think, along the way.
Okay, let's first maybe dive into the meme story again, and how it originated. We are seeing you have been making very many memes that have been quite hilarious for people that see online, and also you did get an award for, I don't know if it was online banter of the year from Naruba Sports something like that. But how did that whole meme thing start?
Okay, I don't think I intended it to be like that, for it to be a meme issue and all that. But me, I'm naturally a person who loves laughing, joking around, and humor. So Dexy is my friend. He's actually a very good friend of mine, but he started the whole issue. So I'm not taking hostages. I also was like, okay, we shall see. So I think was it last year? I post a picture on my status, and then Dexy steals it and puts it on Twitter. It was a bit funny, I think. I was in the salon, doing face scrub.
Yeah, that face scrub.
So he takes it and it trends for like a week, and I'm like, okay, it's okay. I just waited for him. His moment came, and I took the opportunity. Downloaded my apps. So every day I wake up and
in your
remind him.
Where do you get the
but
time
he's now
to
in
make
exile.
all those apps? It's like, I mean, all those memes. It's like you have a whole album full.
Yeah, time. It actually doesn't take a lot of time to make those things. You just get a picture, you insert Dexy's head, and you go away.
What kills me? That picture has like a dimple like this.
Yeah. So Dexy actually is now in exile. I don't know if you guys have seen him online.
Even
He's
took a social
offline.
media break.
That makes me very happy. Hey.
Do you think maybe at one point there is you got maybe? Did you ever get a feeling that maybe you could have gone a bit overboard on him, and maybe you was to a certain extent taking it personal?
Well, for me, I think I've used social media for a while. I actually think I joined Twitter before most of you here. I don't know. Okay. I've been using the app for quite a while, even other apps. So I know I think I would know if I'm overboard or not. And at times, let's say you do something, maybe tweet something and get warnings. I go and did it. I have no problem. I don't like being on the wrong side of Yeah, I want to be always in line. Advertise my things, laugh with people, joke around. I'm always joking actually most of the time. So I think that's me. I don't think I would ever be overboard.
We are coming.
I know.
Don't worry, we are coming. But anyway, for those that are seeing us, of course, make sure you grab yourself a Nile special and have a sip. Enjoy your evening, and just make sure that for you to drink a Nile special, you're above 18. Don't say Fat Cat told you to drink a Nile special when you're a minor. But anyway, let's first get into life in Barara. Tell us about that. You growing up in Barara, you before you came to the streets of Kampala.
It's a long story, but breaking it down, Barara is it's a beautiful city. It gave me quite a foundation. Growing up, I was where I used to stay, and my primary school, they were a bit closer, and in between there was a pitch, the rugby pitch, the current rugby pitch, even those days. So every time I would be coming from home, crossing over to my primary school, I would pass that pitch. Well, that's where actually entire school trains from. I would pass Kacheka. I would pass and look at people knocking each other in the evening. But the way I was stubborn, I was a bit stubborn and egoistic in my primary, I was a bit, even though I looked older than the rest because I used to do acrobatics. I normally tell my friends that I got 6-pack in my P4. Because they refuse. So, at school I was a stubborn person. I was a sportsman. I used to run in those things of primary. I used to jump. I used to do all those things. So every time I would cross that pitch and I find people knocking each other, there was even my neighbor. Those days he was called Mordecai. He retired from rugby, but he was playing from Tare school. So I used to, look for him. Hey, where's Mode? He's playing. I would see people knocking each other, and I'm like, I think I will end up playing this sport. So, growing up, after P7, I had to choose between Ntare and Bara High School. Not because of rugby, but they are good schools. So when I reached Bara High School, I also found the same sport there. But I was a bit scared of joining. Yeah, so every evening, I would go to the pitch, sit down and watch people play. And in my heart, I knew I had to play this game. And I used to have friends. Some of my friends used to play. So, of course, after some time, in my S1, I think in second term, around second term, that's when I decided to join. But of course, rugby in the West, of course, those days, it wasn't so developed, basics, passing the ball around, knocking each other. I like telling people that whole act of knocking each other, that aggression in rugby is what pulls people to the sport, rather than even knocking and winning trophies. For me, it's what pulled me to go and join the sport. There's where you feel superior when you're walking amongst your peers and you're a rugby player. So even if you're weak, because I used to be a weak person, people used to call me Mr. Muscle. I was not even 50 kilograms. So for me, I felt like since this game makes you look big, makes you look strong, I need to join this sport. So I joined. Of course, we played here and there. I even became the captain of my class. That was S1. S2, we play inter classes. You're developing in the sport. I didn't even know any rugby club in Uganda.
Were there in the inter classes? Are there some rugby players now that you played with?
Of course, Alex
was ahead of you.
Yes, he was ahead of me, but he came, I think, later when I was in S3. Also, he came from Tare school and joined Bara High School in A level. So before he even came, I was senior 2. We play inter classes, what. So I think towards the end of the term, I was actually, my first position was hook, as a hooker.
I was about to ask you
I did not know.
You played, but
Ruben, I didn't know which position is which. I didn't even know where to stand in the pitch. Me, I know you just enter the pitch, get the ball and run around. You get to run around, knock whoever you knock on the way, go and score. That was the rugby we played in senior 1 and 2. Not like in Kampala here where you play under 15, under 17, you're playing Budo, you're playing Smack. Rugby in Central is a bit more developed than ours. So for us, that was it. So we played whatever we played. So ball games 1 was after the first term. So after the first term, there was a person, some guy who was playing my number at wing. Because after hook, I joined the wing. They were like, this boy is very fast, let him go and play wing. I didn't even know what wing was. So even before that, my first game was against Ntare School, Acheka. So we played Ntare School. I entered as a sub. I didn't even know where to stand. I remember asking my neighbor. By then he was called Edwin Clark. He's now in Kenya. He played for Heathens and then went to Kenya. Heathens was still on 0 of the 2. I remember asking me, where should I stand? Before even telling me where to stand, they kicked off. I found myself in traffic somewhere. And those days, that rugby was a bit fierce. Those days, someone would come and you're the one I want. Like, what have I done? So we go. I think that time there was the Abromos, the Ryokas, the Nsekuyes, those days. So I leave.
Ryoka quit.
Yeah, he quit. He was playing for Rams and Impis, I think.
He's now he comes drunk on
the Regans, if you remember.
Technical bench.
Those were the guys. So We play. So by the end of the term, I didn't even have hopes of going for national games. I was young. I was in S2. So towards the end of the term, they expelled some students because of indiscipline, and one of those students was playing my number. So I remember that day when we were breaking off, our then patron, Mr. Kavanza, came to me and like, Arnold, what's you play which number? Hey, I play wing. I was like, you come, you're going for national games. By then, they were in Lira, 2014. I was like, what do you mean? National games. Yeah, I called my mother. My mother was excited. For she was always happy for me, whatever milestone. Like, it's okay, you go. I went home, got my things, I came back. We go for nationals. But I went as a substitute. Now we reached there, game 1. I think that's the time when I think there was Kololos, Mark, those two teams I think clashed somewhere. You remember that saga. Now for us, we were the underdogs those days. I think even the Oketayots were still there, playing for Gulu. He was playing for Gulu. I remember him. He was playing for Gulu. Yeah. So we reached. The person supposed to play my number got injured. First game. I enter. Did I play all the games? That's why I learned rugby from. I didn't even know where to stand. I would even get the ball. There's a time one of our players got the ball and scored in the next pitch. You know? so after the games, I would go, ask people here and there, how do they do this? I saw you, because I would go, I was putting on jersey number 14, this person puts on jersey number 14. Meaning he knows something about this number. So I'd go, ask and learn a few things here and there. And, what was surprising? I scored 2 tries in that tournament.
2 tries?
2 tries in that tournament, I remember. So, senior 2, in my class, the next time I was the guy now. Arnold has gone for national games, has never been done before. Scored 2 tries. He's on the school team. Even now, the people you're working with, they change. When you're going to the dining hall, now where you're supposed to sit changes. So things changed, of course. Senior 3, I start now running, doing athletics, which is one of the reasons why, even today, my running form is a bit different from the rest. I learned so many things in athletics. So we play.
Were you running long distance or
short distance? 100, 200. Even 400 sometimes because I was a bit strong. Yeah. Actually, on Sports Day, I would do all the events, even discuss what. I was even actually.
What would you be doing on Sports Day?
I wasn't. I was always on the basketball court.
You'd be the TM.
No, basketball court really.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so senior 3, we start now playing. Of course, we would play some friendly games in Inter School. Inter School was the only school playing rugby those days. Rugby now became the sport. Few coaches here and there. By then, we had a coach called Jude. He's now, I think, in Dubai as well. He left. He was playing for. I think he was somehow involved with Warriors.
Oh yeah, Jude. I remember him. He left. He's not. I
think even Mudola came around, coached us quite a bit. Even McMott came around. A few people here and there. So Senior 3 now.
Guys would come and train, because I remember there's a time when we had left Tare, but he would go back and train the kickers. When you had time in Tare, then also Zeno.
Yeah.
Would come and also touch for guys in Bara, but of course he wouldn't be best player. So yeah.
Yeah. So Senior 3 was a roller coaster. We go back for ball games 1. We play against Ntare. Ntare School. We had never beaten Ntare School in our history. We won that game. That's when the Alexes were around. Bombazi, Andrew, if you know those names, Regan. We beat Ntare for the first time ever. We were now growing, big boys. Rugby was growing. We now developed a culture. There was the now Titans Rugby Club was beginning those days. So we started now training as a as a district, people would come around, we train people from the central. So now we start training with Must. Must was a university side. They had, Must being a medical, it was more of a medical school, so students never had time to play. So it is us now who would play for them. So we start now playing for Must. Rugby starts improving, we become big dogs. So ball games too, we go for sevens, the first edition. We play. By then the Smart, Yango had qualified in ball games once, so I didn't participate in ball games too. So now that was ours now. And the Lira, Arua, Gulu, and the Eastern School Ginger. So we play, we lose to Ntare, I think in the final, we go for East African Games. That was my first East African Games in 2015. Rwanda. Exposure now grew. 2015, that was my S3, now S4. Because now we married in Ntare. Those were our wives. We'd beat them every time we'd meet. Friendly games, national schools games, we beat them. Now I get injured. I get
The injuries start.
Injuries now start. Get injured. My knee, my I will not mention the side. My knee got injured. Took me, now it took, I think, around 8 months to heal. After getting injured, now I come back, do some running, back to rugby. I didn't play a lot of rugby in my S4. No, I actually played some nationals, I think, in Masindi. Yes, in Masindi. Actually, that's when my name now started moving. Those boys, the central school boys, they used to call me number 12. I used to wear a shirt number 12 because it was the smallest one of all the shirts, of all the jerseys. I was playing number 15, but I was wearing jersey number 12. Played that tournament. I think we finished 5th. The tournament, I think Marcos finished 2nd. The Desires and all those boys. Now, 2017 S5, play a lot of rugby. Now as Western Uganda, they now call us to Kampala for an invitational circuit. I think it was at Impis. Now that was my rise to glory. We reached there. I think even the first game we were in a coaster. When we reached like this, looking outside the coaster, he said, "Hey, Mbarara, where are you? We are going to give a walkover." We entered the pitch without boots.
Hey.
We played the first game in barefoot. Second game, we give Ginger Hippos a hard time. Cobs, I make it to the team of the tournament, dream team in that tournament. Yeah, but then from there, I think we go for the nationals now in Kabale. We reach there. We find Budo, Smark, Namilyango. Of course, they thought we were the underdogs, but we now came in hard. I remember Ntare School beat Smark and went for beat Budo, beat Smark, went for the final in that tournament. That's why I now meet Denis Etuket in that tournament.
He was coaching Budo.
Yeah, he was coaching Budo. We finished his team seriously. Of course, after the games, I think by then our Coach Jude was friends with him somehow. Of course, he approaches me, we talk. Then he told me something that touched my mind. Because I used to hear pirates in books. I used to read them, in newspapers. And now going to pirates can even be your career. They can even pay you. What those things. That's what we used to think. He told me, "Hey, you're in S5. Now what you're going to do? You read hard. Make sure you get a good university. Then you'll play rugby." That's what he told me. He didn't tell me, now you come and go to pirates or what. No, he told me, read very well. You get a good university at when you finish A level, then you'll play good rugby, which is true. Because imagine finishing school and you go to Cavalry. I'm not saying Cavalry is not playing good rugby, but if you want to play for Pirates, there's no way you can study from Kampala and play Pirates rugby. But of course, to me, I also took the other. I took it the other way around. Like, if he has seen me playing very well, he's from Pirates. But then you are still playing. I took it like like someone has scouted you. You get, which was also somehow true. Yeah. So we kept on communicating. But I was the one who was now pushing because I had to play for Pirates.
Yeah.
For me, it was had to be a dream come true.
Anyway, while we're still at that, of course, for the people that are watching us, like we earlier said, we are at the Fred and Winnie B&B. It's January, but coming into February, and I don't know if you guys have made any Valentine's plans yet, but if you're looking for a getaway that is not so far away from Kampala, just come here to Kisasi, the Fred and Winnie B&B. Of course, why you should consider it: 10 self-contained private bedrooms, a fully equipped kitchen, power backup system, Wi-Fi, laundry services, a chef to cater to your every need, and a sumptuous buffet breakfast with a choice of tropical fruits and juice. Pick up and drop off to and from Entebbe International Airport, as well as local transportation for getting around, can be arranged if booked prior. For bookings, you have to call the number 0778 933 559. And that is the Fred and Winnie B&B. Make your bookings early for Valentine's or for any getaway, or for the people that you have that maybe might be coming into the country and looking for where they're going to stay. Consider the Fred and Winnie B&B. Tell them that a Fat Cat sent you for amazing discounts. So now you've talked about Pirates. Let's now jump into that. Kampala Life. Tell us.
At what point did you join Sailors? In the Essex vacation?
Yeah, Essex vacation. I joined Sailors in actually when I got done. I think in before that, Etuke told me, when you finish your S6, just contact me. Yes. So when I finished my S6, I contacted him.
On the last paper.
Yeah, the last. Well, yeah, because man, rugby was my passion, and I was so hungry to get to the big stage. So when I finished, of course, in VAC, as an S6 VACist, aside from looking for a few jobs here and there, I thought rugby would really occupy me. So I contacted him. He contacted my parents. Somehow I came to Kampala. I remember he on my first day, the first day I stepped in Kampala, picked me up. He transported me to Kings Park. By then, Kings Park was still.
It was a sight.
Hey, I saw the pitch. I was amused. We kept on bonding. He would ask me who are your role models. Took me to meet these people. Then I think Pirates had a few games here and there. I would attend, and then even attend a few bonding sessions. I remember there's a day I attended a rugby game. Then after, players, as usual, after the game, you go and enjoy, drink water. Yeah, So I remember Desire. I didn't know most of those people. I was just standing in a distance, lonely. Desire came and called me. I was like, "Hey, you come and join us. Come and join us." He had Ivan, those are the people I grew up like watching on TV. So even shaking their hands was like a dream come true. You get? I felt like, in fact, even I felt like I was going to play next weekend. So went through those bonding sessions, attended training, got my slaps. Pirates has that culture.
First training session when you had been called up to Pirates, that first one. How did you feel?
Man, I can't even tell you, because I remember.
Was it with Pirates or something?
No, I'm saying
It was
the one in the senior team.
Of course, the senior team, because, well, before the league, it was before the league, so Pirates and Sailors would train together.
Yeah.
So, of course, you'd have almost like two teams on pitch. So, you'd play each other, it was normal. So, I was a bit timid, but I remember playing. I played. I would watch the Massas, the Ivans, I thought I knew rugby. When I came to Paris, I even thought I was going to play, I think, that same day when I arrived.
Yeah.
But I found out I didn't know rugby.
Marquee signing. You thought you were Marquee signing.
Yeah, because, man, coming from Bra, I was a hard guy. I was a fullback. Actually, I was a fullback most of my life in
Then you
in
find
Bra.
Timothy Kisiga in a number.
I reached Pirates because I remember when
China still
when you just reached when players are welcoming you, they ask you which number do you play? I play 11, 14, 15. Now they start shouting names. Kisiga, Baron. Like you're finished. Yeah, those things. So of course I didn't know some of the names, but to me I thought, this is now my time. I need to play 1-2 games. I proved to guys. My friend, I didn't know things. I had a lot to learn. I took my lessons. Coach Bobson by then, of course, handled me the way I should have been handled. I started playing for Sailors. Actually, I didn't play for Sailors that year, 2018. I actually got injured before playing for Sailors. Missed my debut in 2018. Got it.
The debut that had
the Engwaus. Ernest wasn't making his debut, but he was on the team. Alex, Ziwa, Banawa, Engwao, Orange. Those were the guys in my year. But actually, what helped me was I bonded more with those boys. Because they were in my class, even at campus we were together. Me and when you were in the same hostel. As were across. Because Engwa was in moves, but we would still communicate. We even have a group right now. We made a group those days. Coach Bobson told us, you're now the guys. Because when I reached, the Ivans were saying, we went to the bush, put this team. We went to Ruero to put this team on top. So now, Coach Bobson told us now, this is now your generation. Now also you also go to the bush. That's why when we won the league, I also told the Ivans, I was like, now we also now the guys. Because we went to the bush and we won the league and the sevens. So we were together. I didn't regret playing for Sailors. Some players think when you come and then you join the second team, because I was being advised when I was coming from Bra. They told me, man, when you reach Kampala, you join a small team so that you get a small team. They would call them small teams. I'm not saying there's any small team in the league, but not Pirates. Those Pirates is actually the big three. They said don't join the big three: Heathens, Cobs, Pirates. First join another team, not a small team. Join another team like Impis. I actually almost joined Impis though, because I was at Makerere. I was with those boys every day. Join those boys so that you get some playing time, and then when you in future you can join the other big teams because they will see your potential. But you join a big team, they send you to a second team, you'll never play.
Or you chew a bench.
I was like, yeah, that is somehow true. Like, but no. I've been scouted by Pirates people. Why do you think I'm not going to make it? I believe in my potential. So I go play for Sailors, and I was a standout player. I'm not blowing my own trumpet, but they say when you don't actually talk about yourself, no one is going to talk about you. So become a standout player. Me and my boys, we actually in Sailors, I won a trophy, these qualifiers for the sevens. I keep telling people that I've played in all levels of Ugandan rugby. All of them, regional, I've played high school, everywhere I've been there. There are people who have never played the qualifier. I don't think you've ever played the qualifier in your life. Me, I've been there. I know what it means.
You only played chaplains.
Actually, I played qualifiers thrice. Yeah. One for Titans, two for Titans, and another
You
for
actually
Sailors.
did play qualifier, I remembered. I was part of the team that brought summer camp to the Super 8 at the time, which eventually turned into Warriors. So that was the only qualifier experience I had.
And also, I played Ginger Hip was joining the league. I played that game. It played Titans and joined the league. In Ginger. That game was in Ginger. I also played that game. So now I play for Sailors. We win a few trophies here and there. We keep on developing Pola. But of course, Pirates had players. For us, we are just, developing.
There's also some old players.
Old lads, yeah.
There's still some old Pirates.
Yeah, so my people kept on reminding me, say, Arnold, we told you when you are going to Pirates, we told you you're going to...
The bench may become your best friend.
Because being in Sailors is one thing. Being on the 45-man squad is another thing. Being on the 23 is another thing. Being on the 15 is also another thing. Staying there is another thing. How are you going to make it? These are national team players. Sevens, you're seeing they're traveling, they're doing what? I'm like, you leave me. Me, I know. I must wear this jersey. We play for sailors. We play, 15s. What? Actually, by then, I think even the current Malcolms were also in Stallions. I remember those boys beating us seriously from Kings Park. There was a game in the rain we played with them. Yeah, so during the course, of course, I play University League. I play the first edition of Kings of Africa.
That's the time you played with the Moogies.
Yes. I wasn't playing for Pirates by then. Now, I think what put me up there was the me being a bit faster than the rest. Now which there's this Kenyan club sponsored by Stanbic. Mwamba invites Pirates for Christie Sevens in Kenya. That was my first time wearing the Pirates jersey. I was there in Makerere, sleeping in Chikoni. After my one meal in 2 days, they call us, hey, we are going to Kenya. Of course, I had never gone to Kenya. We moved to Kenya. Actually, even scored the first try in that tournament. I remember. We reached there, we played. It was a harsh experience. We play, we come back. Of course, I wasn't in the Pirates squad by then, but I played for Pirates. So even when I was posing with my friends, I was like, hey bro, I'm a Pirates player. What are you saying?
I was a jersey.
Oh, the jersey. These are my pictures. So I think after that, I was named on the 4th. I remember Etiquette calling me. Hey, you're on the squad. You're on the squad. Like, yeah, I'm on the squad. No problem. We train. Then somewhere along the way, mid-season, I was named on the 23-man squad to play Warriors. My debut was at Legends. Go to Legends, we play, we win the game. I played very well. Next game at Kings Park, we play Rams. I become man of the match. We finished the league. I think we finished second in that league. We go for sevens. My friend, that's what I was waiting for. Sevens. We play sevens, of course. What happened, So, campus in between there, we play. Till today, of course, things have happened. I think most of the journey from when I started, playing for Pirates. Most people know, even if I don't tell that story.
That player that caught your eye at the time when you were the transition from Barak to Kampala, then before you joined Sailors, those training sessions that you used to attend, and the games that you would be in the stands. Who is that player that caught your eye?
Of course, the player that caught my eye was Timothy Kisiga.
Yeah.
He was
young.
I wasn't. For me, I always felt like I was faster than all the wingers in Uganda. You get?
Yeah.
So I didn't want to. Speed never amused me.
Yeah.
What amused me was skill. You get? Timothy was small man. Number one. Number two, he was doing great things. There's a time I came from Bra. I told that story somewhere. I came from Barara, came to Kampala specifically to watch. I think even the weekend before, I didn't tell you this. From the Impi circuit, that 7th circuit, we played as an invitational team. After that circuit, after making it to the dream team of the tournament, I got called up to the senior men's team to come and train in camp. So I came. Okay, I was S5 was almost ending, so we were close to doing exams. So I came, I trained I think twice. Then now I couldn't train because of exams. So I think mid exams along the way I got some time. Again traveled back. There was the Uganda Cup final. Pirates I think evens. I said I must watch this game. I came, watched the game. Kisiga did incredible things in that game. I was like, this boy, either play with him or I don't know, whichever.
Yeah.
So Timothy was always, he inspired me a lot. And even when he knew that he inspired me, he took me up also. There are times, okay, there are even times when he would even send me transport to come and train. You can imagine.
Oh,
Yes. So he has always been there. He would come to my inbox, asks me, "You, why aren't you training? What's the problem? Now let's do this. Now you have to do this. Now maybe when we are training together in the national team, sevens, he would even approach me and say, now you're not doing this well. You're going to be selected. Do this better." At times, he would even shout at me, "Why aren't you doing this properly? You have the capability to do this." So he took me up. He's has been one of those people. But of course, in there, even Chidega, by the way, Chidega has been one of those people who welcomed me into the team. You know, he was always very happy when I scored. He would even tweet about it. Arnold is exceptional. This boy, you know. Magom was also one of those people, you know.
What about the other teams?
The other teams.
Because I remember I used to watch more games at Shadondo. There are those
Now,
old photos of you in the stands.
Eh,
In the stands of
yeah.
Shadondo.
Casito.
Yeah.
Casito has also been one of those people who has mentored me. Casito, there are times when we'd even hang out over the weekend, you know, he tells me, you know, calls me over to his place, he tells me, now you have to do this. This is wrong. This is what you have to do. You know, because it was alleged that I had to play his number. People thought I would play number 9 in the sevens team, you know. So which it never came to pass, but he also inspired me along the way. He has also been there, yes.
I think it's a culture that has been there a few times talked about, but also a culture that has to be adopted by most clubs here, especially at club and national level. Because I once talked to Malcolm Okello, and I was asking him, man, all this kicking and that Hannah, did you used to get time and go to kick alone or something? And he'll tell me, man, even when I was a kid or when I started, when I was in stallions, Chris Rubanga and then the McMots saw me that I would be maybe a future player that would perform well, and they trained me. So it's just a call to those senior players and superstars in your numbers. Find someone you think best suits your number. Anything can happen. At least even when away or retired, be sure that I'm a winger, I retired as Soki, but Karim will do something. So it's a nice culture that will come with the sport, and here you are.
I think that's very true, because most of the people who mentored me, say Dennis Etuket, say Coach Bobson, they always had that personal relationship with me. I think they knew at one point in time maybe Baron Cassos will not be around, and this person will I'm not saying that's how it was, but they I can't say enough. But those two, they've really done so much. Rugby wise, outside rugby, they've been like family. I don't know wherever they are, if they listen to this podcast, I just want to thank them so much.
Yeah, but anyway, of course, for those that are watching, you just have to know that, of course, if you're seeing us, for those that are watching, we are putting on our Fat Cats match. As you can see, I'm clad in these salads don't win scrums, and Bruno is wearing his Eat Sleep Rugby Repeat. So you can be able to get your Fat Cats merchandise. You just have to maybe reach out to the Fat Cats page or to any of the Fat Cats, and dress good and feel good, from the bucket hats to the t-shirts. You can have yours customized to any of the words that you feel would suit you best, or you can have us customize for you some particular words. You can also be able to get jumpers. I know sometimes it's a bit rainy. For the ladies, we also do have crop tops as well, and we do have vests for those that are trying to show their gym day efforts. So there's a lot you can really get from the merchandise of the Fat Cats. Just make sure you reach out and get your merchandise, I should call it as well. But dress good, feel good. There is that. Anyway, let's just jump a little bit away from the rugby. So you were done with university and then getting into life. Was it hard for you finding work?
Well, I don't think it was hard. One, my mentors.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you for sure that Coach Bobson is an engineer, by the way.
Yeah.
Everyone is aware.
But telecom?
Yeah, he's a I think he's an electrical engineer, but I think of course telecommunication by then was a course unit in electrical engineering. So if he's doing telecom right now, must be because of that. So when I got done with campus, even when I was still at campus, my first internship placement was because of Coach Bobson. I remember one weekend we play a game. Then the next weekend we were supposed to play another game. So I had gotten an internship placement in Hoima. I tell Coach Bobson, I tell him, Coach, I will not be able to finish the season. I'm going to Hoima for internship. He tells me, hey, Arnold, why didn't you tell me, earlier? Because I think he was a bit well connected. So he reaches out to a few engineers that he knew. There was one specific engineer called me. I call him Mr. Deo. We link up, and that's how I got my first internship placement. The rest is history. Because where I got my first internship placement is where I still work right now.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so I get internship. After that, I go back for my second internship. Then after campus, of course, I tried looking for work, but I think towards my end of internship, I almost went back to Bra. But then I realized, to really work and get money, you have to be within the central business, districts. You don't have to go back to the village, Yeah, so that's how I get retained where I work now.
Okay.
So it wasn't so hard.
That's great. Just of course showing the emphasis and the importance of education for athletes out there, that regardless of your talent, your potential, also pay attention to your books, and also when you get the opportunity, make the most of it. I mean, how many people do we know that get a chance to get internship and never get retained because of one reason or the other? So put in your maximum effort when it comes to you getting those internships, you getting those short-term opportunities that can lead to maybe bigger things. But anyway,
Yes.
so social media, shoulder jokes, Twitter disses. Arnold is a player who just runs; he can't even step. How do you digest that kind of information?
Like I told you, Ruben, I've been on social media for quite a long time. Social media is like a cancer when you don't treat it right. You need to know who to attack. I normally tell my people, there's a time someone inboxed me, a close friend of mine, after some tweet. He told me, Apache man, you're attacking this person, is it right? I told him, if you ever see me attacking anyone on the timeline, you know that is my person. I will know he will not abuse me. He will not complain. He will probably fire back, and the rest is history.
When you meet, you're doing the same.
Exactly.
Because I've sat on a table with Arnold and Z. What you see on the timeline, they are distancing themselves even on the table.
Yeah. So, Dexy is not my friend. But to me, social media has been an asset. That's number one, because outside the work I do for the institution I work for, I also do my own private work. Everyone has seen. I use the platform to publicize my skills, my craft, and it has really, really, really worked for me. The people I've been able to meet in my rugby, in the rugby community, they've supported me. Actually, my first client was a rugby person. Actually, out of 100, like 60% of my clients are rugby connected. Either they are fans or maybe it's a fan who has sent me someone.
Or any other stakeholder.
You know, I think recently Danny, I'll mention this public. Danny called me. I think it was in the night. Arnold, a friend of mine is stuck here and here. Can you go and help him? Of course, I will go and help him. I will go. That's my job. They'll pay me. You get 2 a.m. You know, I will go. I have no problem because I will get paid. That's what I do. So I don't see social media as a place where people have attacked me before. I don't mind. I laugh. I comment positively. I don't think you've ever seen me abusing anyone. If I'm abusing someone, it has to be something light, and that person has to be a bit close to me because I will know this person will not go around complaining. But the rest, we laugh. If someone abuses me, I'll just maybe ignore. It's something you need to learn to use, to your own advantage. Yes. So to me, social media, it's a tool. I use it as a tool for my own benefit. Yes.
Yeah, so let's just talk about being maybe a rugby player and of course being a not so bad looking human being as well. Are there any particular advancements or attention you get from the opposite sex?
Be honest,
Ruben,
please.
what if my
As honest
girlfriend,
as
what
you
if my
can be.
girlfriend is watching? But of course, being a sportsman, it's inevitable. It has to be there. It's something you have to learn to control. That's one thing. I think that's being close to my mentors. It was one of the first things I was warned about. They warn you. They be like, no, you're a rugby player. That's a very attractive sport. The opposite sex. Number 2, okay, you're a bit into social media. A friend of mine told me, but Arnold, you like putting yourself out there? I was like, yes. What is wrong with that? This is the generation. I must put myself out there. One,
on your brand.
I have to post my garage things. If I don't post them, how will Bruno know?
And I think I appreciate Arnold so much for that. That my biggest problem with many of these athletes, I know I keep seeing Musa saying that, hey, guys should get endorsements, blah, blah, what, hey, contracts for this and that. But you're like, guys don't even speak about what they do.
Exactly,
How am I going to endorse someone for what I don't know?
Yes.
So when I see him actually talk about cars, just basically automotive engineering, yes, it really shows that he's being particular about his brand, and it's something I really celebrate.
Yeah, that's true. Because even today, I would have gone home, showered, come here in my. But I decided to come in my work attire. I just left work and came here. In fact, if you look closely, my fingers are still they have some oil. So to me, you can even find me in town in my overalls. I don't feel ashamed to dress up like that because that's what I do. That's what feeds me. So to me, yes, the opposite sex getting attracted to you is not a problem. It's natural.
How do you react to maybe the DMs and the advances? There's one thing for you to avoid it when you're the one who has the temptation or the urge to reach out. But then when they are the ones that decide to launch the attacks.
Well, like I told you, one, you have to be disciplined. There's always one destination to these things. Nothing is going to change.
There's a consequence for every action.
It's like you going to senior 1, you must end up in senior 6. So whether DM, I welcome people who talk to me. You never know. That person may give you work tomorrow. The opposite sex may inbox you today, they like you. Whatever you will talk, but tomorrow they may call you, my mother's car is stuck on the road, come and help us. I'll make money.
Yeah.
So to me, I don't ignore them. I don't not reply them. I treat everyone, quite normally, you get, unless I'm attracted to them as well. But I want to believe that I'm quite a disciplined person. I know how these things work. You're a sports person. You're supposed to perform on pitch. You're a public person. You're a public figure. You're supposed to be as disciplined as you can in public. So these days, it's a bit hard for you to be out there in public and also run your own private life. I will tell you for sure, no one can tell you who my girlfriend is. Ruben, I'm telling you, no one can say. People will give allegations.
Which gives me the bridge into my next topic.
That's if I have a girlfriend. I haven't told her that I have a girlfriend.
But you don't know, so you have.
Leave me alone. Right?
There are three things I want to pick your thoughts on. What's your theory on love? Then secondly, simping. I remember one time there was a post that you put out and then Zeno quoted it and was like, yeah, is your mother proud of you simping like this in public?
I won't say Arnold's reply.
What you need to know. What you need to know.
And then the third one before you respond. Recently, I think a week ago or so, there was this thing of posting your person on social media.
Yes.
It was going around, which you did not participate in.
Yes.
So I want to know what your thoughts are on that. If you have a person, why are you hiding them? What are your thoughts on love? Tell us about simping.
They tell you about simping. First of all, I am not a simp. Like
are you sure?
say. Yes.
But people say that you
people. Wait, okay.
We don't want to mention the names, but there was a person you were stressing.
Okay, one thing. So Bruno, there's I think I remember sending Bruno that DM. Someone said, Bruno has some nice banter. I'm like, hey, yeah. So, but in real life, will you say Bruno is a comedian? You will not. Bruno is a normal person.
What time of the day you find him?
You get.
I've never been a comedian.
Me, I've seen Bruno. He's a normal person. He goes up and about his business. He's not a comedian, as people say. He may have some humor, but on the timeline, Bruno will make you laugh the whole day. You get. So I want to think that what people portray on social media is never what is on ground. It's never what it seems. You get. So it's, of course, sometimes maybe out of 100, like 40% is what it seems, but not on ground. You will see someone post a photo, but you see them in real life and be like, this person looked nice on social media, but in real life,
that's simping, man.
You get. So simping, I wouldn't say that I'm actually hate people who simp. Yes, I hate him.
What would you describe as simping?
Simping, a person who overbenches. Let's say you like a girl. Let's say probably she doesn't like you back, or you're trying to make her like you back, and you're overbenching for her. You're over doing extraordinary things. Me, I believe in it's called the mirror effect. Things have to be reflected.
Yeah.
If Bruno is my friend, I have to be his friend. Why should I tie myself on you? You understand?
That's powerful.
So you get. So if I like someone, I want that person to like me back. If they don't like me back, I will not tie myself on them, because it will really be shaming. I'll get ashamed. Unless if you say that if I see a beautiful girl on the timeline and I say, and I go away, and you say that is simping. No, that is not simping. You get. And that's what people are saying, that I'm a simp.
You've given one of the best descriptions of simping I've ever had.
You get. So to me, I don't think I'm a simp. I'm not a simp.
You want to say something? What do you want to say, Bruno?
You get. So I believe.
There's a way you simp also.
I'm not a simp. Bruno. Bruno. That's what we can eliminating. I'm not a simp.
Yeah. So I don't think I'm a simp. I'm not a simp, really.
Have you ever gone through heartbreak?
If you see me, let's say, commenting on Nampera's post, and you say I'm a simp, no, I'll mention it here, because
but she's a Pirates fan.
Nampera is my friend. I'm sure if she sees this podcast, she will even say, this guy is my friend. She's a Pirates fan.
Yeah. It's been a minute since she watched Pirates games.
You get. So
yeah, but she's
you get, because people were overbasing on me commenting on Nampera's things, but Nampera is my friend. Like I told you, when I attack someone, when I comment on someone's things, that person is my friend. I will know this person. Even if she goes somewhere, she won't say, but Arnold is over-attacking me. What's wrong with that boy? I'm going to beat him. I'm going to buy thugs for him. No. You say, those are normal things. Because this person is my friend. So, Ruben, I'm not a simp. You people...
So I was asking, have you ever gone through heartbreak?
Bro.
Hard guy like you.
Ruben,
that goes to the gym
in my first year at campus, I got a heartbreak. I went to the hospital. Doctors asked me why I was in the hospital. I didn't know I was in the hospital.
Arnold, be serious. And
I'm telling you.
you know one of those things when you're being inducted. Is it inducted?
No.
We used to have those things
Initiated
at university. Because I was at MOOC as well. We used to have those things.
MOOC is dangerous, you
One
man.
of the courses they used to tell there is not okay. By the time when I was at uni, of course I was way ahead of him, but I joined MOOC at a time when they were bringing in colleges, and that's when the
schools
started. They said that. So they would say, you have no business being at SEDAT. That's the College of Engineering, Design and Art. You have no reason being there, and you're in such small things as a heartbreak. Because your course will fail. They also told us, of course, FEMA was hard. The School of Business and Economics where I was at will tell you, you're giving heartbreaks time. How will you pass econometrics?
But you know, Ruben, people think being a hard guy, you will not go through those things.
Yeah.
Personally, I believe in being a hard person, you get. But I also think I believe in things like fear is a strength. If I don't fear crossing the road, they will knock me tomorrow. But if I go and I'm a hard guy, I don't fear crossing the road, they will knock me tomorrow.
If you don't fear the fact that fire is hot,
you
won't know how to maneuver fire.
Me, I know I'm a hard guy. A man is supposed to be a man. You're not supposed to do some things. I know there are some things you're not supposed to do as a man. But heartbreak will find you, Ruben. Whether you're a hard guy, you'll go and cry alone. And it's even worse.
It's worse for me
For you to cry alone.
Now for us in the conversations
Because
around it.
Ruben, I was with my boys. The boys just for me. They're like, you tell us. Because I was always posing.
With people with the phenomen's problems.
I was always.
You saw a meme of a guy that was kicked out of the house by the girlfriend.
I did.
Then when they came to pick him up, they sang for him irreplaceable.
You get?
Yeah.
My guys just for me. They're like, I was always telling them when I was still in that relationship, like, I'm now the guy. Me, I'm married. You guys don't even have girlfriends. Are you okay? Are you normal? When things happen for me, guys just be like, you tell us now. Tell us. Bro, I was depressed. But of course, with my boys, I got over that, and it gave me a version to life. You know, if you don't go through, for example, an injury, you will not know that in rugby you get injured. If they don't knock you on the road, you will not know that on the road they knock. You get? But it's something you can get back. You know, there are some things that will happen to you and you not have a comeback. For example, let's say you get HIV from somewhere, it's a mistake, but you can't come back.
Yeah.
You cannot. You will agree it's a mistake. You'll even go to church and repent, but bro, it will be there until you die.
Yep.
But things like heartbreak, bro, you learn. How do they break your heart? What should you do next time? You don't become gay, no. Go and look for another girl.
So, the fact that now you've reached a point where you've grown and matured to a certain extent as a man, what's your ideal partner's qualities that you'd want?
I'll give you one.
Don't say she has to be fast also.
No. I know what he's going to say. I know what he's going to say.
I know it, but we'll let you speak.
Well,
go
if you're out there and you're watching this podcast and you're an intelligent woman, please find my DM.
How do they call it?
Which one?
They are called sapiosexuals. Yeah.
Some people use that thing without even
I look
understanding what it
like
means.
a fool sometimes, but because I grew up with an intelligent woman looking after me. My mother is a very intelligent woman. I know she'll watch this podcast, I'm sure. I tell her.
Hi, Mama Arnold.
She's an intelligent woman. I have seen the things she has done. Unfortunately, I didn't grow up with a father. But she's so intelligent, the things she has done, the advice she gives me, you know, I would want to have such a figure in a woman I'm going to marry. But that's one of the things. The rest I will tell them when they come to my DM.
Anyway, let's jump back into rugby before as we start to close this.
Yes.
Competition. How do you embrace competition? The fact that over the last, I think last transfer window, two very interesting gentlemen came into the picture for Pirates. Roy Chizito and Luhoni Jonathan, who ideally play your position. How do you digest that? Do you consider that a threat? Do you consider that as an opportunity?
To me,
Mm.
many things. Competition, of course. If you compete with someone, it's as if they're a threat. It's as if they are not, because anytime they will take your number, anytime you will not play, anytime they will play. You get,
Yeah.
but that's personal. It's personal, but it's very good for the club I play for. It's a very good signing. Roy, I believe, and Ruhoni, they are very good players. Throughout the years, they've proved a lot. There are times, you remember in the past, there are times when I would probably get injured and probably there's no one to replace me. And then the team is suffering, and then they are getting Wanyama to come and play wing. I believe it's an opportunity now for them, for all of us to step in. Roy is not around, I'm there. I'm not around, Roy is there. No one is scared that Arnold probably has work. Let's say there's a game week where I have work to do. I'll be comfortable, well aware that Roy will go
and do the job
and score even more tries than I would have scored. You get? I know, if I'm not comfortable playing 11, Roy will come and play 11. I'll probably play 14. You get? So to me, for the club I love so much and the club I subscribe to and play for, it's a very good thing to have those players on board. But personally, of course, it's competition. I have to compete. There's a time will come when you have to choose.
Yeah.
Between the both of us, and I would really want to be chosen. So, ideally, it's natural. It's
Seven
natural.
setup. You've been in and out of the seven setup. Seeing where you were when you were part of that setup and where the Sevens boys are right now, how does that make you feel? Do you think it's one setup you want to go back in? Do you even have time for national call-ups?
One thing I like telling people when they start saying, but Arnold would have scored that try if he was there. I like telling them that the people playing in that team right now, they all deserve to be there. That's number one. I will not tell you that just because Roy has been selected, I am angry that I have not been selected. No, he's good enough. In fact, better, because the coach has chosen him. Let me tell you, coaches, when you're in training, you know that people don't attend training, fans especially. When you're in training, the coach will know that this person is going to perform or he will not perform. You understand? There will be a reason why he will take Bruno and leave Arnold. You understand? And you cannot be against that. That is a fact. If you've done sports, you will know that there will always be someone better than you at one point in time. You understand? So to me, of course, it's one hurdle that I have not skipped. I would really, really, really love to be there. I don't know. If that chance comes, I think I will take it up, depending on what will be there. If there's work, we'll always see what to do. But Ruben, one of the hurdles I've not really skipped in my life is playing for the national team.
Yeah.
One, I've been quite unfortunate. I've had injuries here and there. I've had exams.
No, there's a time when you actually
had work.
Chance, but you had
Yes.
the final exams.
Yes.
Year as well.
Yes. I had exams. There's a time we were going to
playing
Stellenbosch.
Yeah.
I had my passport ready. Everything was ready. Exams were next week. You understand?
And you were in the final year.
I was in my final year. I couldn't skip.
Yeah.
I remember talking to my mother. She was like, Arnold, you're a mature man. You choose. My mother is that intelligent. She didn't want me to blame her for my misfortune. Because I'm an adult.
That's powerful, man.
I told her, Mom, I want to finish this thing once and for all. I've really read the whole semester. I wouldn't want to again wait and read another semester. They do the same things. I told them, no. I remember talking to the TM of the national team. He told me, man, on this national team, we consider careers first. Same as Coach Tolbert told me, we consider careers first. Everyone. And I'm telling you, those boys even work right now, most of them.
Yeah.
Yes, they have a tight schedule, but they work. So I've been quite unfortunate for that. I should have played on that team earlier, but I did not. Something I can't blame anyone for, but myself and whatever that was happening. But if I believe that chance is going to come. Bruno, it will come, and when it comes, I'll take it up. Be it the 15th team. I'm not saying I want to play for the 7th team only. No. This year, I had the chance. I actually apologized to the 15th team. I got called up, but I was caught up by work. There's no way you can abandon your career for something else. You get? So, but I think I communicated, and they excused me. But I wish if that chance comes up again, I take it up and actually do feature. I will have finished rugby in this country.
What have you done to ideally make yourself less injury prone?
Well, I've had quite some injuries in my life growing up. One, I was a bit weak. You know, rugby is a game of strong people. So I've had actually Adrian. He gave me that quote. He said, Arnold, if you want to play rugby, competitive rugby, you must do competitive things. You must go to the gym. You must make it a daily routine. You know, you've seen me post pictures on Twitter when I go to the gym. People think I'm there to pose, but I'm always there working hard. You know, you have to work hard. And I've got, injuries I think have taught me. Like I told you, when you fall down, you get back up and learn. To get lost is to learn the way. Get lost, learn the way. Get lost, learn the way. Become harder. Yeah, so I think that's one of the things that have really pushed me.
Okay. Bruno, any last question from you before we get into our trivia questions?
I know Arnold on a personal level, but I again know him as one of the most disciplined players, especially off pitch, on an international level and also locally. We've seen some good talent diminish because of some cases of indiscipline. And international as well, we've seen stars who diminish. Recently saw a Springbok star, the whole fly half, getting a ban because of substance detected in the body. And one thing I would like to ask Arnold is about discipline and also to the young players, because this is not a cheat code. Please, coaches, our coaches at the Pirates Academy, in our Pirates Academy, sailors and the other holiday makers that join us in training, we have some of the fastest young boys in the academy right now, and the only guy they look up to is Arnold. And they can only make it to half of what you've made it because of discipline. What message do you have for those young players? They might not necessarily be in your number or position, but also in sport as general. What is that message you have for them in regards to discipline?
I have actually a strong message for them, Bruno. Discipline is the foundation of life. To be where you want to be, you must be disciplined. It is not good for Bruno, for you to be a Bruno somewhere, and I'm telling Ruben, man, I don't trust Bruno. Because of probably something he has done, or maybe how he appears. Discipline will take you places.
Yeah.
So, discipline is one. You have to work on how you appear. That's number one. That is like the face of discipline. How do you appear when you're talking to Bruno? What do you say? What do you do when you're at Kings Park? What do you do when you're on pitch? When you're on a TV interview? What do you get? Secondly, how you treat people around you. My mom keeps on telling me, Arnold, you can't live alone. You have to be with people. You must socialize. You have to be with people. And those people must have a certain attitude. And that attitude must be trust. Everything but trust.
Powerful.
You understand? And number three, it must be personal. You have to be when you're in your bedroom, when you're alone, there are things you must tell yourself. I'm not going to probably drink or smoke, or I'm supposed to go to the gym this whole week, and you must go.
Oh, I can't remain like this.
I can't remain like this, man. Look at my arms. I must be bigger. Probably must do this. I must do that. There are things that you do on your own personal level that you must be disciplined about. Consistency, you know.
Humility.
When you're reading alone. You can't promise yourself I'm going to read 10 pages when you read 5. You think, you have to read 10 pages. You have to do it yourself. Ruben will not push you. You know? So, sportsmen out there, young sportsmen, especially, I'm still young also, but the ones younger than me. You must be disciplined. I tell people there's a time in a Mbale game where people thought I was fighting on pitch, yet I wasn't fighting. Of course, when a standoff happens, I'm not supposed to run away, right?
Yeah.
I stayed, but I did not bring my fists out. I didn't push anyone. I just looked at them and they pushed me. And the ref said, Arnold, what's the problem? Why are you fighting? I said, Coach, I'm not fighting. Me, I can never fight on pitch. It can't happen. You get? So it's part of that discipline. How will a youngster looking up to you look at you when you're fighting on pitch? You understand? Something bad may happen to me on pitch, and I will go up to you to inquire, but I will not beat you or not.
Yeah.
I may push you maybe because I am a bit tense, but I will not want to fight. We go on the ground, we squeeze each other, what? No. I think it happened one point in time when I neck tackled the player. Then after that, he punched me. We both got cards, yet I was supposed to be the one carded. You understand? So discipline.
Okay, that's interesting. So we're going to jump into something we want to introduce this year, that is, we want to call the Fat Cats Trivia. And it's basically questions that are not really related to rugby in general, but just if you did general paper, just to shake your mind up a little bit. But also we shall be having a table running in regards to that, where we shall, from the guests that we get, we shall rank that maybe this one got this, because we want to have 5 questions.
Yes.
So maybe 3 out of 5, maybe 0 out of 5, maybe 5 out of 5. So these are yours, starting with the first one. What country has the highest life expectancy?
Life expectancy, which country?
5, 4.
New Zealand.
Let's keep the countdowns for the quick fire. So you've said New Zealand. Is that your final answer, locked in?
I don't think I know, but yeah, that's my final answer.
The country with the highest life expectancy is Hong Kong.
Thought about it.
What artist has the most streams on Spotify?
Michael Jackson.
Interestingly, it is Drake.
No?
You look for these questions so that I can get zeros.
What company was initially known as Bubble Ribbon Sports?
Bubble Ribbon Sports.
I will help you, maybe give you a clue.
Bubble Ribbon.
It was previously called Bubble Ribbon Sports. It's a very big company right now. Both in whatever wares it deals with a lot of celebrities.
Sky?
Nike.
And
You knew it.
Yes.
Bruno, you did not know.
I knew.
You didn't know.
So,
You always criticize the looks of just
are you a gamer?
No.
You're not a gamer.
Games, Need for Speed, maybe GTA. Those I never played.
Okay, since you're not a gamer, let me make this question a lot easier for you. Have you ever heard of a game called God of War?
I've heard about it most recently.
Have you ever heard of one character's name from that game?
No.
Interesting, let me say, highlight or pointer from that is a Ugandan media brand was also named after that character in that video game.
Bruno knows.
I don't know.
Bruno doesn't know.
It tells you just.
He doesn't know. I mean, I don't.
So you
bro,
don't know. Just because
zero.
you don't know, you think I don't.
People will think I'm legit. People will think I'm I'm like Samir.
Think about it. Think about it. What company was in rugby and used to broadcast the game and do everything?
Kratos.
Yes. The character is called Kratos. And
1 out of 3. Let's go.
we know you're a South Africa fan.
Yes.
In rugby.
Yes.
And South Africa, if I'm not mistaken, currently holds the most Rugby World Cups.
Yes, 3.
But then let's switch to football. Which country has the most football World Cups?
Brazil.
Yep, you're right. That's 2
3.
out of 5 from our first trivia.
2 out of 3.
Yeah. But anyway,
I'm not bad.
Yeah.
That's a percentage.
Yeah,
It's below 50, but I'm somewhere.
Well,
But
you're the
Sami
first
wouldn't
person, you're
have
still top of
answered
the table.
anything.
You're alone at
Dexy
the
wouldn't
top.
have answered anything.
They wouldn't have answered anything. So anyway, as we're losing daylight.
Yeah.
These are quick fire questions. I just want instant answers from you.
I'll count 5.
Okay.
Count from 3.
3.
Okay, 3. Yeah.
Player you look up to.
Cheslin Colby.
Local player you look up to.
Timothy Kisiga.
Worst. Let me phrase it this way. The player that has been hard for you to face in Uganda.
None.
Interesting. Favorite food?
Hello.
Favorite music?
Country music.
Short skirts or short shorts?
Short skirts, bro.
Short skirts.
Short skirts. I'll repeat, short skirts.
Ladies and gentlemen, Arnold Atukunda, any last words from you as we close this?
Fat Cats, thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure. Actually, I wonder, you guys have been in the scene for quite some time. I don't know why I hadn't featured yet.
We're waiting for you to get more
superstar,
followers, man. You are not
But
yet relevant.
I know you guys are going to have a record viewing after this after this podcast. But thank you so much for what you guys are doing. It's man, rugby wins at the end of the day, and you're the engines behind this sport of ours. I thank you guys so much. Please keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Then to everyone who has touched my hand, I can't mention everyone, from my high school rugby to campus, Pirates, everyone who has touched me, career-wise, everyone who has advised me, everyone who has been there for me, my mom, my family, my friends, excluding Dexy, of course. I want to thank you so much. I'm indebted to all of you. I hope I can make you proud. Yes, then finally, my clients, I want to thank them as well. This is a rugby podcast, but I also have to move with my brand everywhere I move. Bring those cars in. Let me solve your problems. I know you have your problems. People have cars, but Bruno, people have problems out there. Well, I highly recommend myself. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your time, Arnold Atukunda. And yet again, this was a Fat Cats podcast, of course, the first of 2024. Great way to start, of course, great conversation with Arnold. And we're going to go on and just enjoy the evening as we let you look out for this and what's coming next in this year. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for listening in. Share with us your thoughts from today's episode, and don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.